Nah, bruh. They in trouble. I can't believe they choked. The Philadelphia 76ers just choked majorly tonight, and they're in serious trouble. First of all, I want to sit back and say this. Jason Tatum, that was a hell of a fourth quarter. You needed that response. You went out there and you saved the season for the Celtics. I would love to give you more credit, but you put them in the damn hole in the first place. You shot 0 of 11 to start the game. 0 of 11! 0 of 11. If you were shooting anything competent, Boston's not in that position in the fourth quarter. If you were just shooting, if you would have been like, instead of 0 of 11, if you were like, what, 4 for 11, 5 for 11, if you were just competent shooting the basketball, Boston's not in that position in the first place. However, it is what it is. You recognize you were playing like trash. You recognize the season was on the line. You sat back and said, hey guys, my bad. My terrible shooting has put us in this position. I'm going to make it up to you guys. I'm going to show up in the fourth quarter and we're going to win this game. We're going to force game 7 and take it back to the crib. Well done to you. You put them in the hole, so you made up for it by showing up in the fourth quarter. Fantastic job. Philly, you guys, I cannot believe this. Watching this game, I seriously cannot believe the opportunity the Sixers just blew. To start off the game, the Celtics, they came out firing. They looked like the team that understood that if they didn't show up tonight, they were going to go home. It would have been the end of their season. But Philly responded. And once Philly responded, they kind of just took off. They just took off. They had a double-digit lead. They took off. They looked like the team that was going to close Boston out. They just looked ready. Stealing Game 5 was huge for the Sixers, and it looked like they were ready to show up by finally putting this whole, 20-plus year saga of not being able to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They were ready to put that to bed. They were going to show up tonight, close this team out, and advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. You're going through the first half, and that's the feeling you get. You get into the third quarter. They're still doing their thing. Now, Boston is showing fight. They're showing life, and they're fighting. But it just seemed like the Sixers had control. Embiid was playing well. You felt like you had control. Tyrese Maxey was growing as the game went on. The way he was playing down the stretch was great for them. Then you get into the fourth quarter. It's still a fight. Boston's still there. But still, it feels like the Sixers have control. And no matter what Boston's doing, they cannot reclaim any energy to get themselves going to find a way to win this game. Jason Tatum just continued to miss, and he was getting stripped in the fourth quarter. It just seemed like this was the end for Boston. With 4 minutes left in the game, it seemed like this was it for Boston. Even though the game was close and going kind of back and forth, Boston just didn't have anything. And it felt that all Philly needed to do was make a couple of threes, and they would have put this team to bed and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals. With 4 minutes left, out of nowhere, Jason Tatum saves himself and the Celtics season. He hit some tough threes out of nowhere. The guy that couldn't hit the side of a barn for much of this game came out of nowhere and just started hitting three after three after three. And all of a sudden, they're up by 7. And everyone's looking around like, what the hell just happened? I'm looking at Philly. They were shook. When that man made his second three to make it 89-84, they were shook. They were lost. They couldn't believe what was happening. They couldn't gather themselves. Doc Rivers was looking around like, I got to call timeout, man. Nothing is going well. He calls the timeout. They come back, and still nothing's going well. They couldn't hit an open three. They couldn't get anything at the rim. Tyrese Maxey missed a free throw. I mean, things were just not going well for the Sixers down the stretch. They completely lost momentum, and nothing went well. And then you look at James Harden. James Harden tonight, 4 of 16 from the field, 5 turnovers, another bad game from Harden. You cannot have that. This is one of the things I always talk about when it comes to the Sixers in terms of why I believe they're never going to be able to reach their potential. I've been speaking about this since Harden's got there. It's been two things. One, the health of Joel Embiid, which has always been a concern. However, in this series, somehow he's played really well despite him dealing with that injury, so credit to him. But the other aspect was the inconsistencies of James Harden. One game, he'll look like prime Houston Harden. Another game, you'll get a terrible shooting night, and you'll be looking around like, what is Harden doing? He can't hit anything. He'll be open for three, and he just can't hit anything. That's kind of how it's been. Game 1, he shows up. Game 2, he's nowhere to be found. Game 3, it's iffy. Game 4, he shows up. They tie the series. Game 5, he's not great, but he's good enough to help them win. So you get to this Game 6, and you're just like, okay, you don't have to be Houston Harden. Just be great. And he was not. The inconsistencies from Harden's performance, it's too much for me to just sit back and believe that Sixers can get it done. But, that's a double-edged sword here because, again, he was bad, so maybe he'll be great in Game 7. And he's going to have to be great in Game 7. Oh, my God. Doc Rivers, man. Doc Rivers, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know how people are going to view you because people already have their opinions of you because of all the series you have blown as a coach, or at least your team has blown while you've been the coach. If you guys blow another 3-2 lead, I don't know what to tell you, man. You blew a 3-1 lead a couple years back against the Atlanta Hawks. You had a chance against Miami. You blew that. And now you're about to blow a 3-2 lead to the Celtics. All of this in the second round? Nah, bro, you might have to go after that. They may look for a new coach if they blow this lead because you had all the momentum to do what you did in Boston in Game 5. Come home in Game 6. Have the momentum. Be leading. You have like some level of control because the game was still close. I can't say you had complete control, but you had a good level of control of the game. To be like that, and then your team out of nowhere goes dead silent, shell-shocked, and the Celtics are doing whatever the hell they want. Jason Tatum can't miss. Marcus Smart's getting involved. What do you do with that? If y'all blow this, it's not going to be a good look for you. And Doc, you might be fired, man. You can't be here, come here, blow a 3-1 lead against the Hawks, blow it against the Heat in the second round, even though many people had you guys as a favorite, a huge favorite in that series, especially after you tied it up to a piece, and then you come here and blow a 3-2 lead after the way you played in Boston? Nah, bro, you blow that, you might be cooked. You might be cooked. Your time in Philly might be cooked. Man, I don't know what to tell you, man. Joel Embiid had a great game. There's like, I don't know what else to tell you, man. There's nothing else Embiid could have done in that situation. I mean, they were just missing open shots. Harden was turning the ball over. I can't believe it. The Sixers are in serious trouble. They choked tonight. Again, credit to Jason Tatum for coming alive in those final 4 minutes of the fourth quarter because if he doesn't play the way he played, Boston's at home right now, so credit to him. But damn, Philly, to look like you have that much control of the game and to play the way you played for much of this game, just to blow it in the final 4 minutes, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy. And now Philly is going to have to figure out what the hell they're going to go do in Boston for Game 7. They got to go to the Garden for Game 7. This is the exact same scenario we saw last year. Last season, the Celtics were down 3-2 to the Milwaukee Bucks. They went into Milwaukee for a Game 6. That was a Tatum masterclass. What was it, 46 points? He got it done and led them to Game 7, kept their season alive, and then in Game 7, they just took over and won at home and advanced to the conference finals, in which they would win in 7 and go to the NBA finals. This year, you're down 3-2, you head to Philly. Tatum does not play well. He plays like garbage for much of the game, though he was doing great defensively, so give him credit for that. He was playing really well defensively, but you were shooting like trash for 3 quarters. Then in the fourth quarter, you come alive and save your team. My God, man. This Celtics team, man, they're resilient, man. They're resilient. If there's any other team I feel closely resembles the Miami Heat, it's the Boston Celtics, man. They have that same mentality as we do. Like, no matter what the situation is, they're just resilient. They'll find ways to win. Just like Miami finds ways to win, Boston does the same thing too. And speaking of Miami, y'all saw what the Sixers did, right? Don't mess around. We got the Knicks coming to our building tomorrow night. Put them away. If you have a chance, blow them out. You need to hit your open shots. You need to hit your open threes, and I need Jimmy Butler to be aggressive. Like Jimmy Butler said in the presser, if Spohn needs me to play 48 minutes, I'll play all 48 minutes. We might need Jimmy Butler to play 48 minutes just to close us out. Whatever it takes to close out the Knicks, we need to get it done. Do not follow in Philly's footsteps. If we follow in Philly's footsteps, I'm telling you, we will lose Game 7 in New York. Let's not do that. Close it out tomorrow. Anyway, Philly, y'all in serious trouble because y'all choked. Y'all choked. But we'll see what happens on Sunday for Game 7 at the Garden. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got, and I'm out of here. Peace.